Adam, the White Hair Master. Season 2. Episode 41. Through the memory of the other evil spirit, Robert learned that the evil spirit was named Cooper when he was alive. Cooper is a genuine thug. His life seems associated with playing games and endless fights, not knowing where to stop. With Cooper's brash and unconcerned personality, more and more enemies surround him, and his friends are increasingly alienating him. It was this that made Cooper sink deep into his own quagmire. Cooper rarely encounters opponents in fights as a famous brother and sister in the city. But as a human, no one can be lucky forever. On one of these occasions, he was fatally stabbed by his opponent. Suddenly pierced by a cold blade, Cooper struggled to get up and rushed at his opponent. Witnessing this scene caused Cooper's opponent to become highly panicked. While unable to control himself, the young man poured a rain of knives on Cooper. By the time the young man turned to run away, Cooper had collapsed in a pool of his own blood. Right at this moment, Robert appeared at the beginning of the alley. He often uses this shortcut to get home after work to save time. As soon as he entered the alley, Robert was taken aback by the scuffle scene. Suddenly, the siren of a police car sounded on the side of the main road. For fear of getting into trouble with the police, Robert decided to run away from the scene. After running for a while, Robert met Cooper lying on the ground. At this point, Cooper was extremely weak. He was only barely breathing. Suddenly, their eyes met. A chill immediately ran down Robert's spine. He did not expect that one day he would encounter such a terrifying sight. Cooper finally breathed his last, but his eyes remained fixed on Robert as if he didn't want to accept his fate. For his part, Robert was also stunned to see Cooper's body lying in a pool of blood. At this moment, an unexpected event happened. Cooper's soul escaped from his body and rushed towards Robert in a last-ditch effort to cling to the present. Of course, Robert couldn't see what was going on. He just felt a cold wind rush towards him, and then he didn't know anything. When his senses returned to work, Robert suddenly felt a massive source of strength within himself. This moment made Robert make a very wrong decision to allow Cooper's soul to reside in his body. While Robert was still reeling from his and Cooper's mixed memories, a scream pulled him back to reality. It was Cooper's voice. He repeatedly urged Robert to come forward and attack Adam. After a moment of hesitation, Robert was finally persuaded by Cooper's vengeful spirit. Without hesitation, Robert rushed to attack Adam extremely fiercely. At the beginning of the match, Adam was afraid of hurting Robert, but now he is no longer afraid. So as soon as he grasped Robert's loophole, Adam immediately hit him with a powerful blow. This attack not only stuns Robert, unable to continue attacking, but also knocks Cooper's soul hiding inside. However, not beyond Adam's expectation, Cooper's ghost was able to return to Robert's body almost immediately. This proves that even Robert himself doesn't want to let go. It seems that Adam will have to defeat these two stubborn people at the same time to hope to solve everything completely. After being knocked out a second time, Cooper's ghost understands that he has encountered a mighty mage. Feeling that it is difficult to win if the duel is fair, Cooper's ghost directs Robert to pull out an extremely sharp dagger from inside. Knife in hand, Robert rushed to attack Adam in a frenzy. At this point, it was really impossible to distinguish between the man who was attacking Adam, Robert, or Cooper's ghost. But even with more weapons in hand, defeating Adam is still almost impossible. Adam understood that it would be extremely harmful if he was hit by that sharp blade, so he was cautious while fighting Robert. Between dodging dangerous attacks, Adam always finds a way to counterattack as soon as possible, so even though it's been a while, Robert still hasn't been able to gain the upper hand. After a frantic but fruitless attack, Robert began to appear vulnerable. Immediately taking advantage of this opportunity, Adam launched a counterattack. Due to the experience from the previous 2 times, this time Adam not only separated Cooper's ghost from Robert's body, but he also delivered a blow that sent Robert flying. This gives Cooper's ghost no chance to return to Robert's body again. When there is no longer Cooper's ghost in his body, Robert immediately returns to a gentle and somewhat shy guy. This made Adam not have to worry about his back anymore. All of Adam's attention was now on Cooper's ghost present in front of him. More than anyone else, Cooper's ghost understood that until it returned to Robert's body, it could do nothing to Adam. Cooper's ghost repeatedly tried to get past Adam with a clear goal in mind but failed. Welcoming it was a series of powerful attacks from Adam. After a tough time of dodging, Cooper's ghost finally succumbed to Adam's powerful attack. Its whole body was slammed into the wall by Adam's punch. The ghost's eyes were so red that they expressed anger to the extreme, but there was no way to return to Robert's body even with more anger. Realizing it was a good time to end the match, Adam swung his fist at Cooper's ghost. Apparently sensing the power of Adam's attack as well, Cooper's ghost began to change his attitude. The anger gradually disappeared and was quickly replaced by expressions of extreme fear. But at this moment, all calculations were too late. Cooper's ghost had absolutely no chance to dodge even the slightest of Adam's attacks. At this point, Cooper's ghost can only blame himself. If it had given up everything as soon as it took its last breath, today would not be today. There was a dreadful screech before Cooper's ghost completely vanished, and the alley returned to its original silence. What was left was only a few strands of black smoke still lingering on Adam's hand and the mark of his fist on the wall. Everything here can be said to have been resolved peacefully. Adam then slowly removed the talisman wrapped around his hand. Seeing this action of Adam, Mia guessed that everything was under control. Only then did she dare run over to where Robert was standing and ask how her boyfriend was. Seeing that Robert was back to normal, Mia was pleased. She repeatedly thanked Adam. For his part, Adam humbly said that this is what he should do to help people. At the same time, Adam realized that the thugs behind him were pulling each other away. Perhaps they saw that their brother was defeated, so they did not dare to stay here, seeing that Adam did not want to make it difficult for them anymore. Robert had wholly regained his senses and ultimately remembered what had just happened by this time. Feeling that he had behaved too short-sighted, Robert immediately apologized to Adam. Robert also added that he really felt guilty for hurting Adam. At Robert's apology, Adam just kept silent and walked away. After walking a few steps, Adam suddenly stopped. Adam began to speak without turning to Robert. Adam says that it's not over yet. Robert will have to pay for the time he let Cooper's ghost manipulate his body. Another important thing is that the thugs have followed Robert in the past. Adam guessed that Robert has caused many bad things during this time. Adam reminds Robert to settle this amicably and takes it as a lesson that violence is never a good solution. After he had said everything he needed to speak to Robert, Adam continued walking, leaving Robert with a thoughtful face behind him. When he came out of the alley, Adam immediately saw Sarah. At this point, she got out of the car to wait for Adam. Looking at Sarah's face, she seemed to be quite worried and impatient. Looking at the bloodstains and a piece of Adam's shirt being cut by a knife, Sarah cried out in surprise. She thought that Adam was injured somewhere. Seeing Sarah's attitude like that, Adam immediately spoke to reassure her. Adam said he was fine, everything ended well. Then a big smile appeared on Adam's face. Realizing that everything was fine, Sarah breathed a sigh of relief. Sarah then opens the car door and tells Adam to get in quickly to take him out to eat. More than anyone else, Sarah understood that Adam was hungry at this time. Although he was pretty tired, Adam also had to laugh because of this thoughtfulness.